All right, this video is going to be on the nuances of going no contact. For anybody who's been around these communities, the narcissistic abuse recovery communities, you've heard no contact. And I think it's a term that's thrown around a lot without a lot of context of what it actually means. I think a lot of people are looking for quick answers to make them feel better and to try to get some stability and clarity back in their lives. And sometimes you can look at these terms and you grab onto it and you're telling your friends you're going no contact, but then you're spending all your time talking about your ex. And you're basically, though you're looking at no contact, or people will look at no contact as, I am just not going to contact that person. But the real definition of this and the real nuances is the reason why. Why are you going no contact? And there's a couple of different reasons that really come into play on this. And the first one is you're doing it to punish the person. You've decided that you're going to ignore this person, you're not going to respond to them, and you're doing it as punishment to try to get back to them. Now, the reality is if that's what you're doing, if that's what in the back of your mind, that's the real reason, it's not no contact. You're doing a silent treatment, you're ignoring somebody, you're ghosting somebody, but the context of why you're doing it isn't focused on you, it's focused on punishing somebody else. And that's a real big thing to remember, and it's a real critical point of going no contact, because if you're doing it for the wrong reason, you're not going to get the results that you're looking for in doing it. Now, the first thing is if you're doing it as a punishment towards another person, you're still keeping that connection to your ex. You're still keeping your thoughts and your feelings focused on them. And that is a surefire way to make sure that you're still connected to them, you're unable to escape, and you're still basically going down that negative path. Now, the real part of no contact is whenever you take a pause, you look at your life and you're like, I do not like where my life is at. This is not the person I want to be. This isn't who I wanted to become. This is not nowhere near who and where I want to be. When you're in that mode, when you get to that point and you're looking at no contact, you're doing it for your own sanity. You're doing it to give you space from the situation to try to excise that person in this environment out of your head so that you can start to get your life back. See, it's completely two different contexts or completely two different reasons why you're doing it. The first one is to punish a person. The second reason, or the second version, is that you're doing it to help yourself. Now, the other nuance about no contact that's really tough is it doesn't just mean that you're not making phone calls or sending emails or reaching out to the person. It's pretty much taking and removing everything out of your mind and your environment of that person. Some way, I like the term no contact because it's real simple, but there's really more to it. What you're talking about is you're not contacting the person, obviously, but you're also not looking at their Facebook, you're looking at their social media, talking to friends about them, talking to family about them, asking the kids, if you have kids with them, what they're doing. You basically are cutting yourself off from any information with that other person. I mean, in some ways, maybe no information would be a better way to say it than no contact. But you got to take that step back and look at what the intent of it really means. It's you're giving yourself a period of time to basically detoxify yourself from the situation and from your ex to try to help you regain your life back. One thing you'll notice whenever you're really attached to someone like this is no matter what they do, they're drawing you back in. And when you are disconnecting from them, when you are basically saying, look, I am not going to let you, the toxic ex, have any connection or contact with me, it's not just their direct connection. It's to where you're saying, okay, I'm going to take and I'm going to purge this out of my mind. The hard part about this is it is really hard to let go. It is not easy to do. It sounds easy. It sounds like, way, I'm just going to go no contact and woohoo, things are going to be better. And what you end up doing is you find yourself late at night thinking about what's going on. You're wondering about what the ex is doing, what they're thinking. Are they worried about you? Are they thinking about you? Are they dating someone else? Are they comparing the new person to you? If you are sitting in your room by yourself and you are thinking about your ex, you're not doing no contact. It's not easy to do. I struggled with that myself. Oftentimes when I was going through this, or when I was back in the time going through this, I felt that this must be what somebody who's addicted to something, smoking, drugs, alcohol, whatever it is, and you're trying to stop, because I would find myself by myself in the house, picking up my phone and going, I wonder what they're doing on Facebook. I wonder if they posted anything. And then you convince yourself, well, I should look because then I'll have an idea what they're doing. It's a game you're playing with yourself. It's important to realize how complicated this is and how tough this is, because a lot of people will throw around, oh, I've gone no contact and it's been 30 days or 60 days or 15 minutes or whatever the heck it is. And you can look at it and go, well, why am I having such a hard time with it? I think a lot of people, you want to feel good about yourself. You want to feel good about the situation. And you can, when you're projecting out to people out externally, you can be basically putting that best foot forward. But it's important to realize that this is incredibly tough. It is not easy to do. It is really hard. And it's okay that it's hard. So if you're struggling with it, I don't know how many times when I do videos like this, I get somebody and they're like, oh my God, I wish I would have saw this 3 days ago or 15 minutes ago. It's because it's so darn difficult. We want so much for some type of reaction from the person to validate the relationship or validate that all that time, whether it was a year or 2 decades or longer, that it meant something. It's understandable. And that makes this stuff incredibly difficult. So if you're struggling with going no contact, know that it more than likely is going to be a struggle. Yeah, some people can do it really quick and figure it out. I wasn't one of those people. It took me a while to figure it out. I had to fight with it. I made my mistakes and I sent my emails and I sent my texts back when I was texting. Some of them when I understood what no contact was, other times it wasn't. This stuff is hard. It is not easy. Give yourself a break when you're going through it. It takes time. You're gonna have some failures every once in a while. As long as you learn from them and you don't make a failure and you're like, oh crap, I blew it. Everything's gone to pieces, so I'm just gonna ride this thing into the ground. You don't want to do that. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, look at your situation, take a deep breath. Okay, I need to reset and try again. Do what you need to in your environment to make it easier. Remove any reminders of your ex. If you have to, delete all your social media. Don't even get on it. Take a break from everything. If you know there's mutual friends who just love to tell you about what's going on, stay away from them. Intentionally don't go talk to those people. I get it. I've done the same thing. You know people who are mutual friends and you're like, oh, I'll give so-and-so a call. And wow, they just happen to mention what's going on. It's like you have to really take an active step in this. If you make a mistake, don't beat yourself up. Like I said, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start over again. This is a process. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Give yourself the time and space to do it. But you need to understand what no contact really is. And it's not just that superficial word that says, I am not going to send an email or telephone call, my ex. There's a lot more to it than that. So if you struggled with this, I'd love to hear your story on how you've dealt with it. Hopefully you've gotten through it, or if you're still struggling with it, what some of the issues you're dealing with are. And I'll chat with you on the next video. Take care.